Hello. Hi. Welcome back. I'm consistently impressed by the Game City audience attendance. You guys are really committed, and we're really grateful. My name is David Sloan. I'm creative consultant for the Game City Festival. I'd like to welcome to the stage Christoph Wietzka from RuneScape. He's the head of RuneScape, which is one of the key offerings of Jagex, who are based up in Cambridge, I believe, yes. Before we start, I just wanted to make an announcement that Jagex has been named Developer of the Year at the Golden Joystick Awards. So if we could give Jagex a round of applause. As you know, the Golden Joystick Award is voted for by players, and I think that really says something when a developer or a studio are named through that system of awarding. I think it really kind of indicates that where the public are thinking, where the thought process is at any one time.
Well, we always try to do that. We don't want to impress the industry, we want to impress the players, and I think that has paid off really.
Okay, so for about an hour today we're going to be talking about RuneScape and about the work that you guys do at Jagex. This discussion is part of a Game City initiative called Director Commentary, where we're really looking to kind of interrogate and explore some of the best practice that's coming out of particularly this country, but also overseas. And it's a new initiative, and we've only just started thinking this way, and we're really, really lucky to have you here today, Christoph, to be one of the first people to come into the fold, come into the Director Commentary fold. So,
I feel honoured, thank you.
Okay, so we've got some imagery that we were going to kick off with today.
Yes, I wanted to show what we think is the technology secret that we have, which is that we have a scalable client, basically. So this is basically the basic image that you get with a really, really old, low-spec machine if you go into RuneScape and turn everything off. And you say, like, no shadows, don't just gameplay, don't worry about it. I want to have a smooth experience. I have a really, really dodgy internet connection. I might even be on a 28.8 modem or something like that. I've got a really, an old AT computer, which is 300 megahertz, something like that. You still can play if you are happy with that kind of image. So on the next one, we then see if we have a graphics card, how that translates into. We can do that with another image as well as the next one. Now it's even clearer. This is the absolute basic. So we don't have anything on the floor. There's no textures on the floor. There's nothing. So again, just enable people to play with a really, really old computer or with a new netbook that are out, basically, that have no graphics card whatsoever. A couple of months ago, we launched major overhauls of the game engine, that you now, in software mode, can see also all the textures that we have in there. So we don't rely on polygons anymore, we have textures in the CPO-driven mode, which is a major achievement. So it's all in the browser. Perhaps I need to explain that. Everything is in the browser, and you can really adjust how much you need to see. This is still software mode, so without a graphics card. The next one would then be with a graphics card, so you see the colors are much more standing out. So and then the next one would then be plus the animated shadows, and then the next thing that has not been launched yet, which is Bloom. For everyone who knows RuneScape, this is Sonaris. A couple of screenshots have already been shown of that. The major overhaul that we did on the graphics and on the gameplay of it. And this is one of the things where we tried out what Bloom could really do. It's a quite new thing to us in our version, in our game engine, in our client, that we can do Bloom. And yeah, we do all our research and everything in-house, so we don't rely on anybody else. Whenever we want something, we try as long as we can to get it right. We don't have to buy a product and then discuss with other people like, oh my god, how can we get that better? It's not quite what we wanted. No, we do it all ourselves. So if something's not good enough, we go back to the game engine team and say, like, can we actually do something better than that? The tools team, who is full of amazing tech guys. We're quite happy to work in the games industry, really, because other than that, they would just be working on databases and all that kind of stuff. So we actually give them good things to work to. And yes, we're very happy with how Bloom turned out. So just to say, from a technology base, I know we want to talk more about game design later. I just want to share the one secret with you. From a technology base, we think it's a big, big plus for us that we can give the user the ability to scale themselves how much they want to experience, how much are the graphics of importance, and how much is really just give me the bare minimum and I'll run through it. So we think it's a big plus for us, definitely.
I think one of the crucial aspects of that scalable technology is that it makes the game that much more democratic, that you're not dictating or kind of blockading a whole player base out of experiencing your game because they need the latest graphics card or the latest high-end processor and so on, just to simply run the game. That scalability means that you're innately orientated toward the player because you account for the fact that not everybody is going to have the latest technology, the absolute cutting edge that, with some of the more contemporary disk-based installed MMORPGs, they put a real demand on systems, and I think it's a real achievement the way in which RuneScape.
Also on traffic, the load that you have, or the internet connection that you need for most games is immense, and on a good weekend where Warhammer has a double XP weekend, you really have problems accessing the internet because there's so much traffic going on. Yeah. Whereas what we do, basically my internet always tells me, you haven't done anything for an hour, I might, just cut you off and say, no, I'm still playing RuneScape. You're just not noticing the little data stream that's coming through. So again, I said 28.8 modem, it still is possible to play the game with it.
So I want to move us on to start to kind of think about jagex and RuneScape more holistically, and I wanted to ask you about how jagex has grown so rapidly and become so successful without marketing, without that kind of 80% spend on marketing that is so indicative of contemporary games culture. It seems that you've been able to, achieve a real dominance of that browser-based, kind of intelligent games design with a very light touch. Mm-hmm. I'm curious about how you're achieving that.
Well, if we could put it in a recipe and sell it, I think we would make millions. So it's not that easy to put the finger on it. I think, first of all, right place at the right time always helps. And it was time for a browser-based MMO, and we were the first ones really who did it. The second thing is the game doesn't tell you what to do. You tell the game what you want to do. And I think that's a big appeal. So I think from a game design point of view, we were very democratic again, if you go the same theme that you had before. So that you felt as if you found a gem somewhere and you needed to tell your friends because that's the only way that somebody knew, because you had just learned through some obscure way as well. And I think that really worked for us, that the fact that we didn't do any marketing, and it was very, very obvious to the user that we would never do any marketing in the big scale, but they actually said, you know what, the only way that other people can play with me is if I tell you. So that is, it worked so well it overwhelmed us ourselves. When we put the members service on a couple of months after it had been launched back in 2001, we were amazed of how many people signed up. Mm-hmm. We just thought, okay, perhaps it will cover the costs, because Andrew Gower, the writer of the game, basically had financial trouble at the start because the .com bubble burst at that point, and online advertising was not covering the costs anymore. And it really was, how can I keep the service online? Right, I have to go for some membership model. And within the first week, we had 10,000 people subscribing to that game. And suddenly it's like, wow, okay, that really works. We didn't know it would work so well. And yes, it's fair. It's 5 $5 a month, then $5.95 now. So within 8 years, not a great inflation of prices there. So that people said, like, actually,